Hello, awesome people. I hope you're having a great day today. Today we're taking a look at an 80-page section game book that's published in the Magnamund Companion, which was a book that was for Lone Wolf fans. It's written by Joe Dever. It's called Dawn of the Darklords, and instead of you being a Kai like the Lone Wolf, you are actually a member of the Brotherhood from Torin, and you are banded and you are replaying his role from his side of things in the first book in the series called Flight from the Dark. For you folks, since it's only 80 sections long, it's pretty fast and so forth. I had the Magnamund Companion when I was a kid, but I was reading it at night one night after my bedtime came in and my dad found me. And he was like, "You can't be doing this anymore." So he took some of my stuff and never gave it back, and so forth. So I never wound up actually reading this and so forth. It's online on Project Aeon, just like all the other Lone Wolf stuff by Joe Dever is online for free. You don't have to spend any money to read it and so forth. I'll link it to that in the comments below, so that way you can read it for free. He gave him away as a millennial gift for his fans because he'd already made his money, right? And so forth, and so it's online, so you can just read it. There's also an action chart for you to create too with its different characters and so forth. So you do roll things, and you'll have a combat skill, you'll have endurance, just like normal. And I rolled 3s for both, which meant that I had a very low combat skill and a very low endurance of 23 and combat skill of 13. That's not good. And for example, I had also because you might normally when you get one high number and one low number, you put the high number in combat skill, because that sort of creates the combat ratio, will determine how much damage you take, and so forth, the low number in endurance. But in this case, there is some tension between that, because you use endurance to use your better spells. You'll have 5 skills like normal and 10 spells that you can use. For example, your best spell is Lightning Hand, which takes 3 endurance every time you use it, and so forth. There's another one that's out there that I took that gives you a shield to protect you from damage, but that was actually never used in the sections that I went through, although that just doesn't mean that it wasn't in the other ones, and so forth. And then there's also one called Vigor that increases your combat skill by 3, but you lose 3 health, but you can't use it when your endurance falls below 10. I wish I would have taken that, and I would have swapped it for the shield and so forth. There's also one heal that I took because I had low hit points called with 23, and so forth, and for 5 hit points once when you're in a river, called Mend, which I took. Another one which I figured which doesn't take any endurance, and I had a low endurance called Net, which I also took and used a lot too. And then there's another one called Sense Evil that you use a few times here and there. That also doesn't take any endurance either, or sense dangers and such. So all your spells, some of them will take, the better ones will take endurance, and some of them will to use up. So there's that tension between endurance and combat skill, and such. So it was a lot of fun. I enjoyed playing through this show. It took about 5 or 10 minutes for me to read the rules and create my character, because it was pretty fast. They didn't do a deep dive in anything, right? Because it was sort of a smaller section in a larger book, right? So, and it was only 80 sections long. It took me like maybe 25 to 30 minutes for me to read the entire thing, including the rules and creating my character, and that sort of a thing. You do start with one of 5 items from your backpack. One of those items that you can choose is a healing potion to give yourself 2 hit points back after you've lost it, instead of the 4 from a potion of Lawn Spore. I wish that they had chosen that, because there are some big combats in here. The spoilers, obviously, in case you've never read Dawn of the Darklords and so forth, because it's short, because there aren't as many rules to this as there are for other things, because you do have a very, very rough fight in here that you can easily die to. This is probably more of a 6 out of 10, rather than a deeper, higher levels and anything like it. But I do like seeing what it's like to be a wizard from Joe Dever's view, abandoned, rather than who's like best Lone Wolf, and we'll meet in book 1, Flight from the Dark, instead of a Lord in the same adventure and such. So I did like it, but it was fun. So I definitely will link it to you and so forth. But again, I'm probably only going to 6 out of 10 for you folks. That's Joe Dever's Dawn of the Darklords for you folks. Have you read this? If so, what did you think about it? Did you agree or disagree with my 6 out of 10? Let's talk about it in the comments below if you agree or disagree. I'm happy to talk with you further about that in the comments below. If you want to talk about spoilers or ask me, let's put the spoiler tags for you folks. So that way people who aren't going to be knocked out with that. So also, as a reminder, this channel's thing is the worst thing about new books. That's a quote from a French philosopher, Jacques Joubert, who said that the worst thing about them was that they kept us from reading the old ones, right? And so this, you know, is from the 80s, from the Magnamund Companion, right? It's a few decades ago. So that's also my key part of this channel, is getting put out there for you folks. And then if you enjoyed this, why not hit the subscribe button, hit the bell icon to be notified, the like button, and share it for friends too. And then finally, I just want to pause and thank you so much for taking some time out of your day and investing in watching my video, because we all have so many things that are happening in our lives and we're pulled in so many different directions. So the fact that you spend this time with me, that's incredibly humbling, and I appreciate it. So thanks again, and have an amazing day.